They are in many ways marionettes, manipulated by a martial rhythm, an incessant pulse which the climate imposes, who, in order to survive, have adapted their every step, their very existence. The turning of the seasons provokes profound changes in bears' bodies, allowing them to endure the harshest conditions and driving them to their own extreme behavior. The life of bears is a passionate struggle. 700 kilos of love, high spirits, and ruthlessness, all directed by the rhythm of the seasons. The more refined technique of a red fox produces better results. The fox is a true expert in catching small animals such as rodents, and he has a much higher strike rate. But just at this moment, the fox is not hungry, so it will store its booty in a natural cold larder, where the food will be preserved in its perfect state. And for bears, the fox's refrigerators are excellent places. They're off the mark. And the bear has no choice but to continue searching for food elsewhere. In the woods to the south, spring is well underway. Big males that skulk around the females are a genuine source of danger for the cubs. Mama bear makes no bones about keeping them at bay. But the danger is constant, even when she is feeding her young. Several times a day, she will suckle her cubs with milk that is among the richest in fat and protein in the whole animal kingdom. At this stage of their lives, this is their only source of nourishment. Even so, the 5-kilo cubs will put on at least another 20 kilos in their first year. As long as the little cubs do not stray far from their mother, they will be safe. A little further south, spring brings its customary annual circumstances. Hunger, new offspring to feed and protect, and the impending mating season. Brown bears' lives are a whirlwind of needs, passions, and hormones. Brown bears come together where food is abundant. At first sight, it would appear to be a relatively relaxed meeting, although not everyone is entirely trusting. Some males, emboldened by being in heat, get themselves into bitter confrontations. While the adults can deal with the tension, opposing forces being more or less equal, it's a more dangerous scenario for younger bears. Once again, the mother must face up to a male. But just when it seems that everything is under control, one of her cubs falls behind. The tragedy unfolds in a mere moment. The young male, driven by the sexual energy of the mating season, kills the cub. At this time of year, infanticide is relatively common among the great bears. Large males desperate to mate, seek out a fertile female. If she has her own cubs already, they are seen as nothing more than an easily eliminated irritation. Far away, in much warmer environs, other bears have found a very practical way of avoiding such tragic deaths. Sloth bears, found in India, are very maternal, watching over their young day and night. The little family will live together for over 2 years, until the young are able to fend for themselves. Until that time, whenever danger, or just tiredness, approaches, these cubs will do something unique among bears and climb onto their mother's back. It may be tiring for the mother bear, but transporting her young in this way greatly reduces the chances of their falling prey to the claws of a leopard, a tiger, or a male bear in heat. Adult males spend a great deal of energy tracking females by means of their acute sense of smell. Love drives them to travel long distances in search of a tryst. When a male finds a female in heat, he will court her, sometimes for several days, until she concedes to mate. The act of copulation provokes the female to ovulate, increasing the possibility of pregnancy. After a short honeymoon, the male will turn his attention to the scent of other females, leaving his latest conquest behind. Here, spring becomes summer over a period of several weeks. But in the Arctic territories, the changes last but a fleeting moment. Plants are in a hurry to bloom, and for a few days spring takes possession of the harsh landscape. For polar bears, this is now a strange, uncomfortable terrain. The great white bear is almost exclusively carnivorous. It will eat seaweed when desperate, but its keen sense of smell, such an effective tool, brings good news. A few kilometers away, a fresh cadaver will save it from a plate of sea salad for now. Some dead whales offer a welcome and delicious delicacy. The stench of the corpses drifts along the coast, drawing the attention of several bears who willingly share the feast. The whales' corpses will not last long. Adult bears can eat up to 30 kilos of meat a day. Little by little, Mother Bear recovers her figure. The fuller, the healthier. Her cubs also grow apace, packing on essential fat reserves in order to survive the following winter. In the Northern Hemisphere, although the seasons advance without respite, the brown bears are taking it easy. The older bears know that summer, with its many treasures, is on its way. When it comes to food, bears can be quite surprising. Despite being classified as carnivores, they will seek the most disparate of resources in order to survive in competitive or harsh ecosystems. Spectacled bears, the only ursines native to South America. They inhabit woodlands along almost the whole length of the immense Andes mountain range. The spectacled bear does not have a particular blood. In fact, it will happily haul its 100-kilo frame through the sub-humid forest in search of its favorite prey, ripe fruit. Spectacled bears possess two unique characteristics. Firstly, they are excellent climbers that will very often look for food at the tops of trees, giving them the distinction of being the most arboreal of bears. They will sometimes even climb the trees simply to sunbathe and rest among the branches where they find their food. The other unique quality of these Andean bears is that they are one of the most vegetarian of bear species. Leaves, fruit and bulbs constitute almost 90% of their diet. There is, however, another species of bear that has even more particular and extreme eating habits. Its domain spreads through the inland mountains of China, and its diet is wholly made up of bamboo. The giant panda. The giant panda is another extraordinary carnivore, given that its diet is almost entirely vegetarian. 99% of what it ingests is plant material, and specifically bamboo. A carnivore that feeds on bamboo is a zoological oddity. Its digestive system, that of a typical carnivore, is not actually equipped to eat as much vegetable matter as it does, making it immensely complicated for it to digest and process the tough bamboo cellulose. As a result, the giant panda has to ingest almost 40 kilos of bamboo a day, spending nearly 14 hours each day eating. The giant panda has developed a very striking adaptation to help with its unique diet. It has a sixth finger, a kind of pseudo-thumb formed by the bone of the wrist, allowing it to manipulate and eat the bamboo more quickly. Brown bears are just the opposite of giant pandas, in that they are the epitome of versatility. Brown bears often don't look like adorable, fluffy toys they've given rise to. When they are young, they learn to fight, both for defense and attack. This is a crucial aspect of their lives. Their only natural enemies are other bears, which may be bigger and stronger. Thanks to their pugnacity and their adaptive abilities, they have the widest distribution of all bears, inhabiting North America, Russia, Europe, and Asia. In general, each species of bear has its own preferences for food, but most will usually take advantage of whatever their environment offers them. In the humid forests of the Indian subcontinent, the sloth bear knows how to take advantage of whatever the forest provides. Even so, it has its predilections. The sloth bear likes forests, especially when there are rocks to look under. The sloth bear's claws are extraordinarily long. They're also curved and strong, an excellent adaptation for moving and turning over large stones. These claws are excellent tools, which the bear employs almost like a bulldozer's robust mechanical ripper. This mama bear is teaching her young how to flip over rocks without getting their fingers trapped. It's also important to hone the element of surprise to catch the bugs underneath. Sloth bears are expert hunters of tiny insects. Their long, sensitive snouts have no incisors, making it easier to suck at the termites, ants, and other insects that might be hiding under the stones. Of course, rocks can be found all over the planet, and a delicious feast may be hiding under any one of them. Brown bears will also lift rocks to look for insects, but they are mostly frugivores, their diet depending on what each season offers. Each situation will present very different nutritional needs. It has been shown that brown bears can ingest more than 1,000 different kinds of food. Their physiology is synchronized with the maturing of the fruits and the life cycles of other animals. As summer progresses, the brown bear's body changes, demanding increasingly more fats and sugars. Far away in the tropical jungles of Southeast Asia, the sun or honey bear is also searching for the fruits of the season. And here, the seasons are defined by rain and drought. Competition for fruit may mean crossing paths with the secretive orangutan. But competition is generally minimal, since orangutans cannot eat the very hard fruit that the sun bear can easily devour. The sun bear is the most jungle-based of all bears. It's also the smallest and lightest of bears, large specimens not exceeding 60 kilos in weight. These characteristics help it to be an excellent climber. It will often climb up to the tree canopy where it looks for a variety of fruit and small creatures, mostly insects. Both its claws and jaws are powerful, and so it can make the most of whatever its keen olfactory sense guides it to. For example, a delicious snack seems to be hiding beneath this tree bark. And once located, nothing will prevent the sun bear from reaching its goal. For the diminutive, agile sun bear, the jungle is a pantry full of possibilities.
This is a story for all who love Texas, where nature has selected for the most adaptable, and to those willing to stake their claim. It is a story about tragedies in our past, of recoveries against all odds, and is a call to action to conserve the wildlife and wild places in our...
The seasons pass inexorably in the northern latitudes, where the bears must now diligently prepare for the arrival of bad weather. If they do not manage to store enough food in their body to endure the coming snow and ice, they will die during the winter. This is the moment of truth. As part of their preparation, the one-year-old cubs continue to suckle enthusiastically, making the most of their mother's thick, nutritious milk. Adults do not have this advantage, of course, so in the forests of North America, the harvest must begin in earnest. The bellowing of the North American elk announces the approach of autumn. American black bears, the most numerous of all bears, will spend the next few weeks collecting fruit. They can ingest 20,000 calories in the form of sugar-rich fruits and berries in a single day. Black bears have sensitive and dexterous lips with which they select the fruit. It's also a crucial time for the brown bears. A time for survival, when they must make preparations for surviving the winter, when they will not eat for several months. Brown bears are experts about their environment, able to take advantage of every resource it has to offer. Today, the menu has salmon. Seals have come to the same restaurant, but as the large schools of salmon make their way upstream, the seals must vacate the tables in deference to the larger predators. Impatient bears try to fish at the river mouth, but it's not an easy task. Seabirds watch and wait. Like bears and crows, they are omnivorous and know that they will have their share of the spoils of the feeding frenzy. As the days shorten, the bears enter an almost manic period known as hyperphagia, during which they will feed and drink as much as is available. The most experienced bears wait for the salmon where the river narrows. The hunt is much easier there. Even so, salmon are fast and slippery. To catch them just right, one needs both good reflexes and learned skills. The oldest bears are true experts. And the cubs watch and learn. Mama Bear gives them a chance to duel with a large salmon. It's lesson time. But it's not as easy as their mother made it seem. As the cubs grow, their mother, like all good teachers, will give them ever more complicated challenges. At 1 year old, they face their first exam. Will they be able to fish on their own? This mother can be proud of her young. During summer and autumn, the bear's metabolism drives them to eat for up to 18 hours a day, putting on 70% of their body weight with respect to what they had weighed in spring. Every day, they will ingest up to 50 kilos of fruit, or will kill dozens of salmon, eating only the fattiest parts. The skin, the heads, and the eggs. It's now that they must eat everything they need for the rest of the year. The bear's metabolic adaptations allow it to store almost everything it eats as adipose tissue. And what they leave after their fish feast is certainly not wasted. The local seabirds are very grateful for nutritious salmon leftovers. Meanwhile, the first snowfalls begin to cool the far reaches of the north. Polar bears joyously celebrate the arrival of winter. Very soon they'll be able to return to the frozen sea in search of seals. But for the brown bears, this change of season means they must disappear. Once they have filled up on sugary fruits and fatty salmon, it's time to withdraw, to hide in their dark cave, until they emerge again full of life and energy next spring, once more, to take up the hunt.